Welcome to Madison City Channel's Know Your Candidates interviews, co-sponsored by the League of Women Voters of Dane County. I'm your interviewer, Eve Galanter, and I would like to introduce Kim Richman, running for Alder in District 16. Kim, as we begin, please give an opening statement about the educational, vocational, and civic experience you have, which prepares you for this office and why you are running for Alder.
Thank you for doing this again. Thanks to the League of Women Voters. Being an alder is all about public service, not politics. Listening, discussing, collaboration. Early on, my experience in the sales and marketing field and customer service in the beverage and food industry, it taught me to listen to people and understand their wants and needs. If you don't listen to people or ask what they're thinking, you'll never know what they want. I could sit down with any person from any walk of life. We would discuss all of the issues, any circumstances, any problems, wants, or needs, and we could come to a mutually beneficial agreement. It's all about connecting, it's all about communicating. I enjoy informing people on neighborhood safety issues, educating them on how to access city services through the city website, and many other things. One example I can give you from listening to people in the neighborhood, even though I'm not an elected official. In a local neighborhood, residents didn't like the optics of large items, and this happened more than a few times, large items being deposited on terraces in front of homes and remaining there for weeks. So what I did was I took the initiative to request the large item pickup through the city of Madison, and then I informed those neighbors how to do it. The problem is there are some renters and some property owners that don't know, so I asked them to pass that on.
How would you evaluate the city's current efforts to address homelessness and increase the amount of affordable housing? Are there additional steps the city should take to address these issues?
Thank you. We all see the city building housing, apartments, more homes, trying to keep up with the current and the future demand. Excuse me. The majority of them being built are considered affordable housing, but are they truly affordable? The city also recently loosened restrictions and changed some zoning for accessory dwelling units. Some people call them granny flats, to address the affordability of the housing. However, everybody doesn't want to live in an apartment. They want to live in a home with a yard and a sidewalk and a backyard. So I'll support housing incentives and proposals to assist with ownership of homes by groups who traditionally haven't been able to reach home ownership. That would include first-time buyers and low-income families, for example.
What actions or programs would you support to enhance public safety in Madison? And in particular, what is your position on the use of body cameras by Madison police officers, given the recent demonstration project?
I support body-worn cameras on Madison Police Department 100%. On both sides of the lens, it's accountability, it's transparency. Videos don't lie. We all see it. We've seen it for years, people with phones. As far as more public safety, I would like to see, and I will advocate for an expansion of the traffic enforcement safety team for more traffic enforcement in the city. It's no secret that there are speeders, people running stoplights, stop signs, moving in and out of traffic. Traffic enforcement is an issue that comes up whenever I attend any neighborhood meetings. 20 is plenty. That program isn't working in all neighborhoods. We must address that.
In the wake of the recent referendum to increase property taxes, what are your priorities for the city budget?
My priorities are not take away our basic services and our essential services. First responders, which includes the fire department, EMS, and CARES, and the police, should never be cut under any circumstances or threats. In addition, our basic services that we expect, streets, parks, trash pickup, tree trimming, none of that should ever be cut. The city is growing very fast, very quickly. All of those services should increase in relation with the population growth.
How should Madison balance the need for development with other concerns such as traffic, historic preservation, and conservation of natural areas?
Could you repeat that again, please?
How should Madison balance the need for development with other concerns such as traffic, historic preservation, and conservation of natural areas?
Well, those are all priorities. So I can't say it one over the other, but I think I will be talking to constituents if elected. I want to hear their concerns and what they want. And I will form an opinion from listening to them. If it's traffic enforcement, I'll put that at the top. If it's natural resources, I'll put that at the top. We have to protect the city as far as the parks, the tree-lined streets, as well as our lakes and the PFAS over at Truex Field. But we've got to somehow financially balance that, sit down with all parties involved. We can't really take, those are all priorities. We can't put one over the other, except I will be talking to the people and ask what theirs are.
What are the most critical issues that you see facing the people in your district, and what would you propose to address those?
Well, this is kind of going back to traffic enforcement. Going to neighborhood meetings, could be a neighborhood association meeting or just a city hosted meeting. Traffic is like right at the top. Reckless driving on Milwaukee Street, zigging in and out of traffic on Buckeye Road. I've been passed on the right on Buckeye Road myself, which is the right is a parking and a bike lane. I've seen people run through four-way stops. And again, I would advocate for an increase of the traffic enforcement safety team. Another concern, has been shots fired or weapons violations in the past. In my opinion, that has quieted down quite a bit thanks to the police department and their policies. So I'm going to keep traffic enforcement at the top.
What would you like to say to the viewing audience as we complete this interview?
I will say that in the 16th district, I promise to represent with a strong, common sense, grassroots approach. I'll bring transparency to the council and accountability to the council. I'm an advocate for better communication with residents, community safety. Residents want to talk about their concerns that are unique to their neighborhoods. They expect an alder to listen and react. I'll provide that attention and the resources. Again, an alder should be about public service, not politics. I'm responsible. I'm involved I'm an involved community member. I have deep roots on the east side, especially in the 16th district. I was born and raised in Eastmoreland. Now been living in the Elvium neighborhood in the 16th district for over 40 years. I worked locally in the private sector, as I mentioned, and it taught me to learn about people, to listen to people, and hear their wants and needs. Just to let you know a little about myself, I recently retired, but today I'm a crossing guard. I'm a City of Madison election official. I'm a director at large on the Elvium Neighborhood Association. I founded the Buckeye Grove Good Neighbor Project, which is a modern, very friendly version of Neighborhood Watch. And I volunteer at a lot of events to help raise money for causes in the city, especially for those in need.
I want to thank Kim Richman for speaking with us and thank the viewing audience for taking the time to know your candidates. I want to remind everyone that the general election is Tuesday, April 1st. Every election is important. Please vote. And on behalf of Madison City Channel and the League of Women Voters of Dane County, I thank you for joining us.